All right, so I want to show you how to do a buyer broker agreement for a buyer right through command. So let me show you really quick. First, go into contacts, find whichever contact you're writing the buyer broker for. You're going to just search for them here and find them. Click on their name. We're going to do it for Kimber Walton. Now, you need to have an opportunity. So you can go into opportunities right here. If you don't already have one, just create an opportunity. When you go in there, it'll ask you what kind it is. If you're working with a buyer, like we're talking about today, just hit buyer. You can fill in any details you want. You only need things that have the stars. So commission rate, opportunity phase, whatever. This isn't going to change how much you actually get paid. It's just like a placeholder, and they use it for projections and stuff. So to help you project where your business is going to be. But just go ahead. Once you've got that opportunity, just click on it here. You can also see it, just to give you a quick idea, you can also see it if you go to opportunities right here. You can come in and you can see your buyers. I could scroll down, I could find it there as well. But anyways, once you're inside of this opportunity, just go into documents and then click go to transaction. You might see another little button too here instead, but it should still have that chain sort of looking thing there. So you'll know you're in the right place. Then just go ahead and say go to transaction. That's going to open up DocuSign. Now this, okay, so it did ask me for my password. It used my KW email and then used my password. If you don't know your DocuSign password, ask whoever assigned you into your office. Just ask them if they can help you grab it. If you have any issues, just let me know and I can help you find it. I can help you get access to it. So then go ahead, click log in. And it's going to log you into DocuSign inside of command. So once you get in here, oh, I should delete these out because I want to show you how I got here. Yep, let's delete all of them. Okay, so when you go in here, it's going to be totally blank like this. Go ahead and click add up here, DocuSign forms, and then we have to pick the forms. Yours might look a hair different than this. This is out of the South Valley Market Center, so we just have a few different things. But, your market center will be very similar to this. Just go into like UAR right here. You're going to find your buyer broker agreement. I'm just going to search for broker. You're going to click on exclusive buyer broker agreement and agency disclosure. We also are going to need the wire fraud alert disclosure. So I'm going to search for that. I'm going to choose the one for the buyer. And then the buyer due diligence checklist as well. And then click add selected. Now, your office likely has an affiliated business arrangement or some sort of disclosure that we give out that says, hey, we do have vendors that we use, preferred vendors, but that you can use whoever you feel comfortable with. So that's all just there to make sure they feel comfortable and they know that they can use whichever service providers they want. But we're going to recommend them some to make it easy and convenient for them. So then once you've got your documents here, go ahead and click select all. And then we're going to click this pen, which is going to create an envelope. Now we can choose roles. Buyer agent is going to be one of the roles and buyer one is going to be another one. So buyer agent is me. Buyer one is going to be my buyer's name. So it's just going to think about it for a second and it's going to help me autofill these documents. So once it gets pulled up here, all we have to do is just make sure they're in the order that you want. You can drag them where you'd like them, but this is just fine. Like I said, you'll probably have a fourth one with that affiliated business disclosure or whatever that your office has. These three make up the buyer broker. So if you just get these three done, you'll be okay. We'll get the rest of the documentation later if you don't have it handy. Then go in here. Buyer agent should be filled out already with your name and your email, and then your buyer's name and email. They just pulled that right out of command. So you should be good. And then this is the email subject. I like to clean this up a little bit because this is actually what the email subject is going to say. So I'm just going to say buyer agency docs. You can call it what you want, but I just want it to be something that's attractive, when they look at it. So then I hit next. Now to fill this out, so it's got the brokerage already filled in, the buyer right there. It says who the buyer's agent is. Now this part just says when is it going to expire. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say it's going to expire the 30th day of September because we're in March right now. And normally I like to write these for 6 months. Now you can say in here, you could put in blank county. So I could put Salt Lake County, or I can say any county in Utah. That means that it would cover, this buyer broker is going to cover any property they want to buy in any county in Utah. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can also make this just specific to a certain property. So if you put an address here, this agreement will just be for that address. So occasionally you might want to do that. Sometimes with like an investor who works with other agents, we'll just get one of these for this specific property. But most of our normal buyers, we're going to get one that covers any county or at least the main counties that they're going to be looking in. Now, this is where you can put a transaction fee right here. This is talking about compensation that'll go to the agent. I like to put a transaction fee right here of $300. That just goes to help me cover costs like of the transaction coordinator and all that stuff. And then I'm going to put 3% right here. That's what I'm typically charging my buyers. But this amount is negotiable. So you can put whatever you want to put there. Now, this I'm going to say if within 1 month after termination or expiration, the buyer, this is talking about the protection period. This just says that there'll be a protection period for 1 month after the expiration date, which, as you know, is the 30th day of September 2023. This stuff, there's nothing really to choose here. Normally, we'll say there are not attachments to this buyer broker agreement. So we'll just say there are not. Now, if you wanted one, the only thing you might put as an addendum is like, let's say that your buyer is going to work with you, but they say, hey, I might be buying my grandma's house. And if I do, I don't want to be tied to having to pay you a commission. Now, that's pretty uncommon, but if so, you could put an attachment to this buyer broker that would say those terms. So anyways, it's already put in the buyer's signature and date and my signature and date here. So once we go forward, we'll actually sign those, but it's all set up for us. And same with the initials on every page. They've got it set up. Now the wire fraud alert disclosure, this says the company. So just put in your full brokerage name. In my case, KW South Valley Keller Williams, but you'll put your market center there. The agent, which I'm going to say my name, Nick Gonzalez, and then the buyer, and I'm going to say Kimber Walton. So it's just kind of specifying who the players are. This wire fraud alert disclosure just says, hey, it's very possible that someone could break into our email. They might send you an email that looks like it's from me asking you to wire them money. It will look really legitimate. So just make sure that before you send any wires that you're calling me directly and verifying that it's correct. These are very tricky. So the reason we do this is to make sure this is a state form, but we do it to make sure that we're protected in case something was to happen. We don't want you to be liable for that, or for the company to be liable for something like that. So we have to really not only have them sign this, but also go through what it actually means with them, which is don't send wires unless we've talked in detail over the phone. The buyer due diligence checklist, this already filled out for us. We've got the brokerage name, the agent name, the buyer name. There's really nothing to fill out, but this goes through all the different things that your client should be looking at when they're purchasing a new home, and new or used or whatever sort of home. It talks about environmental issues, talks about just the general condition of the home. Most of the time they're going to be getting a home warrant or home inspection just to make sure that it's all in good shape. Once that's all done, the signatures are already set up. So you can just hit send right here. And then once you do that, it's going to ask if you want to sign the documents. So we'll let it think about it for a second. Because I'm one of the signers, I can actually go in here and sign it real quick. Sign. And 1 second, it's just thinking about it. And then I can go in and sign here, just hit start. I'll sign there. That's really the only one it needs from me. Now the client is going to have a few more things to sign, but the agent just signs in the one spot. So anyways, now we're just waiting for other people to sign it. Once they do, we'll all get an email that says it's ready, and then you can just hang on to this buyer broker agreement and it'll be saved right there inside of Command. So anyways, hope that's helpful. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out.